Next into the Robina Stadium, Wales almost caught napping there. Fiji smartly out onto the pitch, so Wales against Fiji. Wales off the back of their opening defeat against Australia. They did, though, manage to score a try. Jasmine Joyce getting over. Fiji looked like they might almost have the better of England for a while, but England came through strongly at the end. Rose Labrèche, a Canadian referee. That was such an important game, an important victory for England against Fiji, because it's really a challenge for second place in this pool behind Australia, and England in prime position now to go through to the semi-finals, because if it comes down to it, level on points, it would be the result between the two sides. So England with that victory over Fiji. Fiji, this is a must-win game for them, but what can Wales muster? Again, Fiji in the women's game, not quite the force that they are in the men's, but still tremendous skills and tremendously aggressive players as well, the Fijians. And the Wales have to try and match that physicality. And offer a good bit of skill as well. And there is Jasmine Joyce. The Fijian defence is so often so very quickly up. A little bit of space out wide for Wales if they can move it quickly. The 2-on-1 quickly disappears, though. But then again, good work by Joyce. And a penalty to Fiji. So plenty of possession for Wales in the opening minute, but unable to do too much with it. And now they have to try and sort their defence. Riwai. And given on, and the try will be there for Fiji. And Tinai gets in.
Of Fiji, as they did with England, looking good with ball in hand. The result went against them. But Tinai there picking up the scraps, run on the outside line. Even Joyce's determination, which did so well for her in that first game, not counting for much in this instance. Fiji love to play a fragmented offloading game. They enjoy their rugby, and they do even more so when they're playing with a flair associated with the island.
And it would have been rather demoralising, that defeat against England, because they will have known, Fiji, that that was their big game in this pool, because Australia are so much better than the rest in this pool. There is a battle for second place to go through to the semi-finals, and you're thinking possibly about playing for the bronze medal. And suddenly it's all very, very difficult, because the results are, you'd say, almost clear-cut based on form going into this. That England are now strong favourites for second place in this pool. Wales trying to keep it alive and offload well, but it went forwards.
Well, getting a bit frustrating for the Welsh there. They're trying to play a really wide passing game. Their coach, Nick Wakely, well versed with the circuit in invitational sevens, and with that, just trying to develop these ladies to play a more of a structured game. So get the ball out wide. Jasmine Joyce has always got a chance. They've got a few good girls that offload up front, and with that, a balanced team, but sadly just coughing up the ball, and this is definitely not where you want to be against Fiji.
So Fiji on the front foot once again. And here is Tinai, try scorer. And into the 22 she goes, sets it back well. And Ravisa finds support. And a nice offload by Nakpato. Just feeling their way side to side at the moment. Fiji just hoping for the gap to appear. And the offload is wonderful now. Second try for Fiji. Good work by Siata onto Riwai. And that was a very well created try out wide for Fiji. And Wales unable to find their way up the pitch.
Nice bit of patience, balance, ball in two hands, simple coaching point. Siata there gets on the outside. Those Fijians constantly running round the outside, and With that, you're going to find space, opportunity, and rewire there. Just follows the line. You can see it track. One-handed offload on the outside. You're sitting behind in the slipstream almost. They can go either way. Right-hand offload, puts it on a plate. Classic Fiji rugby.
Fiji taking the option straight down the middle with the restart. It's actually not a bad option, found a bit of space there. And Wales under pressure once again in the pass from Laurie Harris.
Time off.
Went a bit loose. And I've actually got
leave the ball here, please.
a nasty looking injury.
Yeah,
I think
you.
it's is it Snozel down?
Tanibula coached the men briefly, and he's trying to instill similar Fijian philosophy in how these ladies play the game. Broken field, play with your passion. The Islanders going through a tough time at the moment as the Cyclones hitting their home villages. The Welsh have a tough task against them now. Just 2.5 minutes left of this first half. They need to get a score. Fijians tend to get a hold of the game, and then all things can happen. When they play without the pressure, they're frightening. This is the highlights we can see of them. Broken field running. All adept with ball in hand. They look for big shots in defence, but when they get it, they're looking for offloads.
Yeah, interesting. I've been talking about South Africa in the men's event probably starting as slight favourites, but actually Fiji are, they've been stronger recently in the World 7 Series. South Africa started the season stronger. They're the defending champions in that series, but Fiji have been getting stronger and stronger, and winners in Hong Kong as well. So we shall see. They're not going to win the women's event, but every chance in the men's, the Olympic champions.
Stay behind here, 9.
An opportunity once again, and the lovely line picked, and the power from Tinai to go under for her second try.
It was like a 3-on-3 in 15s. You don't need to run round people. The centre line, you can see on the outside, she's looking to come short on that short line. Back on the inside. Welsh defence nowhere. Harries can't cover the inside. Flailing arm from rolling on the inside. Lovely change of direction. And that's a great score for the Fijians.
Yeah, it's been a hard first half for Wales, trailing, so Eleanor Snozel going off as well with an injury. And their sort of variation at the restart doesn't work this one though, and it's a race for the line. And can Jones win it? No, hauled down 10 metres out. Wales looking to recycle it though. Well, not releasing the ball on the tackle. Wales will say she wasn't held, but enough of a tackle there for the Canadian referee to be satisfied with. It goes against Wales, and Fiji with a chance to attack, but then they knock on.
Well, I'm not quite sure what Jones was thinking. You got to run to the corner, stay away from these massive Fijian defenders coming back in, and Naobasale makes the tackle, and Jones needed to release the ball, but now they've got another opportunity in the Fijian 22. They've got Joyce out wide. She's the secret weapon.
Well, ball secured eventually. And there's a ragdoll tackle coming in from Naikato. Penalty to Fiji as well. And Fijian strength showing as well in the close quarter exchanges, and now they can fling it around. The hooter sounds at the end of this first half. Fiji looking for one more score. A little bit of dancing from Ravisa, and Ravisa finds support. Good hit comes in Siata. Still with Fiji though, and Naikato, giant figure in the wings, offloads with one hand, and Fiji say, we're not getting through here, let's just poke it out and hope for more in the second half, because they have been in charge in this first half, and it's Fiji who lead Wales 19-0 at half-time.
Just a touch. Okay. Little one from the England trips. Yeah, just where we were honeypotting in around the breakdown. There was one back there in terms of inside our 22. We had 2 players on the blind, and then that caused us problems out wide.
There wasn't that good one. Remember, the farm way. You can keep you. Sorry, the salon of Pacha. Take wood. And not to know them, I can what to watch you. To very to connect to lock what it is. One of them aware. Yeah. They no longer to say what to Naviga and to tell it to what Liverpool is telling.
Ready for the second half then between Wales and Fiji. Wales trying to find something in the second half. A pretty dreadful start to the second half, though. Immediately gifts possession in the centre of the field to Fiji. Interestingly, in the women's game, quite often, I say the best sides have good kickers, but quite often it's the kicking that is not quite up to standard. And in sevens, that just gifts possession away. And an opportunity to Fiji and Tinai, just wandering around looking for support. And Nayo Basali, who's on the field, sets it back. Gap appears. And great skills once again from Tinai, who's been lively and dangerous throughout. Oh, and just eases her way through. And a try for Fiji, again within a minute of the restart. And Lavinia Tinai has been so impressive in this game.
Well, Tinai wearing the famed 9 Fiji shirt, held usually by Jerry Tuai, one of the magicians in the Fijian team, and here she is, dazzling the Welsh ladies. If it's not a cut on the inside, big dummy, ball on a plate, holds it back in. That's a repertoire of skill from that number 9. Tinai looking brilliant with ball in hand. That is brilliant Fijian rugby.
Difficult conversion. And wide of the uprights.
Time off.
She looks exhausted.
Time off. We're having a sub.
I think she may be. She may be heading for the exit. Go exit stage left, Tinai. So she's been replaced. So perhaps the difference, I think, between Fiji and the very top sides in the women's game might just come down to a bit of fitness as well. The Australians and New Zealanders are so well drilled, but again that comes down to, as we talked about, the full-time training and the programs. Big thump coming in, dislodging that ball, well scooped up by Wales, and a risky pass that had to be from Kayleigh Powell. Wales will get the scrum though. And again, you see how hard Fiji work without the ball.
Red ball, please.
Yeah, it's a sharp intake of breath from Rabina Stadium there. Nick Wakely thinking he's going to lose another Welsh player. You do not want to be taking a ball above your head with an on-rushing Fijian defence, I can promise you that. Her shoulders were almost lined with granite.
See, there are my ribs, please hit them. Wales though with ball here, and again they're having to fling it around not too far from their own try line, and the white shirts are very quickly up on Joyce. Jasmine Joyce does get it back, but again, just that hefty contest on the floor. So Wales running out of options, kicking it away and hoping for the best in the bounce of the ball, but it sits up nicely now for Nyana Riwai, and Riwai with a step and a swivel from Ravisa. Fiji finding options, the pass not quite going to hands, although it does now, and Naimasi for the corner with that power to get over. And Fiji scored again.
Well, you can see why they're the world's second favourite team. I'll excuse the dab, but that is some pretty impressive interplay. Little no-looker, how about that? Out the back door, picked up perfectly.
Time off.
And as she's been impressive all game, Ruvisa takes that opportunity, gets in behind, and once again finished with a little bit of Fijian flair.
Time in.
Bounce pass on the inside, route one from Namiasa.
Listen, at least you were able to recognise the dab, I would have been saying. Entirely lost. Anyway, Fiji, again, all these celebrations here. Well, let's have another look at the dab. Boom. But there will be just that tinge of frustration that they couldn't quite do it against England, because it's very clear-cut. If you lose one game, it's a bit of a sprint, the pool stage here in the women's sevens. Just 2 pools. And that loss to England really sets them back.
And we often dismiss, you know, these games against Australia and New Zealand, but they are just such a different level. You have to be on point. Fiji knew they had a backdoor route, and it was to beat England. They lost that, but this is why they entertain.
Clear
Penalty
release,
to
Claire.
Wales, bit of a
8.
smack in the mouth coming as well.
Clear release. No maul formed.
But actually, when at close quarters, you see the difference in size between some of the Fijian players and the Welsh. And again, we talk about sevens as being a game of speed and endurance, but if you haven't got that strength as well to compete, and it helps you break tackles much more easily.
Yep, and it's the one differentiator between New Zealand and Australia. The physical size of the New Zealanders, it tends to be what they go to. The big change in sevens rugby was when the final went from 10 minutes and a half to 7 minutes and a half, which really benefited the fitter
And number 12.
Australians previously, whereas the power game comes in, and you can see, as you mentioned, the size of these players. Those advantages you gain from being bigger than the opponent count for a lot, and certainly in the men's game, it's where the game's going. You don't just have to be fit and fast, you have to be physical.
Time in.
A couple of changes. Fiji using their bench. That's not straight. Well, the referee lets that one go out of some sort of benevolence, but it was one of the squintest throws you've ever seen. Wales with an opportunity to try and force their way up the pitch. No way through, but an offload now finds a bit of space, and an opportunity for Wales quickly closed down. Side entry though. There's a good initial break by Shunath Harris.
Yep, take it from the mark, please.
Oh, it does frustrate me when the referee makes someone move 3 inches to the left to tap the ball. Clearly indiscretion made. Just get on with the game. The Welsh still have energy, they still have exuberance, even though they're getting hammered, and that's what you need to maintain.
Let's see, if you're going to let that line out go, you might as well let that go. We're not sticklers here. The game is going to be won by Fiji. I thought it was almost an interception, but Wales towards the final minute of this half looking for something. They found a try against Australia. Might they find one again here? Jasmine Joyce, and Joyce is still going, and it will be Joyce again who scores. So there is that smile and the celebrations for something from this game for Wales. They're not going to come back, but they have a try.
Well, Joyce, bless her, trying to rally the troops to get back to restart. The game is over, but you can create individual highlights like this. You mentioned about the Fijians liking a shot, so much so they tackle each other. You can see Namasi just taking out the sweeper. Big collision, but Joyce, resilient as she always seems to be, scores another one for the Welsh.
Cheers from the supporting crew, including Eleanor Snowsill, who was injured in that first half. She icing her knee. Good restart kick by Wales, but it goes to the hands of Nangasau. And Nangasau, again, you saw the size of Nangasau compared to a couple of the Welsh players who were around her. And the second half just about over now. Final passage of play. Hooter sounds, but Fiji fancy another try here to close things out. They want the final say in this game. Little step inside from Naimasi, and Naimasi gives it on now to Riwai. Riwai finds support. Forward pass, though, will be an end to this match. So no final try for Fiji, but they do have a big victory over Wales. Wales with their own score through Joyce, but it is victory for Fiji by 29 points to 7.